When a Sigma male cuts you off, it's not just ghosting or an emotional shutdown. It's something deeper. These men operate on a different wavelength, and when they walk away, it's swift, clean, and without explanation. You might be left confused, wondering what went wrong, or if you missed a sign. But the truth is, Sigma males don't play by the usual social rules. They don't owe anyone closure or a chance for reconciliation. When they decide someone no longer fits in their life, they cut the cord, and they do it in ways that seem sudden, but are calculated. This introduction won't sugarcoat it. When you get cut off by a Sigma male, it's brutal, direct, and intentional. It's time to face 11 hard truths about why that happens, and it's rarely for the reasons people think. Prepare to see the raw, uncomfortable reality behind their detachment. Let's dive in. Make sure to watch until the end for a clearer understanding. 1. You underestimated his ability to see through you. You might think you're playing it cool, keeping parts of yourself hidden, but a Sigma male is far more perceptive than most people give him credit for. He's not interested in surface-level interactions or the version of yourself you present to the world. Instead, he notices the smallest inconsistencies, subtle shifts in your behavior, and even the things you don't say. His ability to see through facades is almost unnerving. The moment he senses that you're not being genuine, whether you're exaggerating, hiding your true intentions, or trying to be someone you're not, he's done. There won't be a confrontation or dramatic fallout. He'll simply distance himself until one day you realize he's completely gone. The brutal part? He won't waste time trying to figure out who you really are beneath the mask. Authenticity isn't optional to him, and if you're not offering that, he's not sticking around. It's not personal, it's just how he operates. You didn't just lose his interest, you lost him entirely. 2. You became a drain on their mental energy. Sigma males treat their mental energy like a precious resource, and they don't let anyone drain it unnecessarily. They're highly selective about where they invest their time and attention. If you start to demand too much, whether it's through emotional outbursts, constant need for validation, or overwhelming him with your problems, they'll pick up on it fast. The moment he feels like you're becoming a drain on his mental bandwidth, he won't stick around to get burned out. He won't sit down for a heart-to-heart about boundaries or emotional balance. Instead, he'll detach. One day, you'll realize he's no longer answering your calls, engaging in deep conversations, or offering the same attention he once did. It's not about him being cold or uncaring, it's about self-preservation. He won't let himself be dragged down by energy vampires. Once he senses your presence is taking more than it gives, he'll cut you out without hesitation. It's a matter of survival, not spite, and in his world, protecting his mental clarity always comes first. 3. Unreciprocated respect. Respect for a Sigma male is non-negotiable. He values independence in both himself and others, and expects to be treated with the same level of consideration he gives. If he feels disrespected in any way, whether through dismissive comments, being overlooked, or even subtle slights, he won't let it slide. He's not the type to engage in arguments or demand apologies. Instead, he'll quietly cut you out of his life. No drama, no explanations. What makes this even more striking is that you may not even realize how much your behavior matters to him. Sigma males rarely advertise their expectations, but they notice everything. If you dismiss his ideas, belittle his efforts, or fail to support him when it counts, it sends a clear message that you don't respect who he is or what he stands for. Once that line is crossed, he won't stick around to explain why. In his mind, respect should be mutual and effortless. If you fail to return it, he'll disappear. No second chances. 4. He gave you more than one chance, and you blew it. Sigma males aren't the type to call you out on every mistake or make a big deal out of your missteps. They observe, wait, and give silent second chances. You might not even realize you've been given an opportunity to make things right because he won't openly tell you. He'll watch to see if you pick up on your behavior and adjust accordingly. But if you keep repeating the same patterns or show no signs of change, that's when he quietly decides it's over. What's striking about this is how patient he can be. Sigma males don't cut people off impulsively. They understand that people aren't perfect and give room for growth. But once he's seen enough, once it's clear you're not evolving or respecting the chances you've been given, he won't hesitate to shut the door for good. And when that door closes, there's no coming back. He won't hold a grudge, but he won't reopen the connection. The frustrating part? You might not even realize you blew it until it's too late. Sigma males don't make grand exits or create dramatic scenes. They simply step away. No explanation needed. 5. You became part of the background noise. Sigma males thrive on solitude and mental clarity. They don't need constant stimulation or a crowd of people to feel fulfilled. In fact, they prefer their environment to be calm and focused. If you start to blend into the background, becoming just another layer of noise in his life, it's a red flag for him. This isn't about you being boring or uninteresting. It's about how your presence fits into his world. When a Sigma male feels like you've become part of the everyday clutter, it's a sign that your connection no longer holds the depth it once had. He's not someone who tolerates mediocrity in his relationships. If your interactions begin to feel like routine or mindless chatter, he'll quietly recalibrate his life, trimming away anything that disrupts his sense of peace. What's brutal is how effortlessly he does it. There won't be a confrontation or an emotional goodbye. He'll just withdraw, removing you from his life the same way he would turn off a noisy appliance. It's not about anger or resentment. It's simply about preserving his mental clarity. 6. Your values started clashing with his vision. A Sigma male's life is driven by a strong personal vision. He has a clear sense of direction, a set of values that guide him, and a deep understanding of what he's working toward. If your values start to clash with that vision, he won't hesitate to distance himself. It's not about him being offended or thinking you're wrong. It's about alignment. He has no room for relationships that disrupt his focus or pull him off course. You might not even realize when this conflict starts. Maybe it's the way you handle challenges, choosing comfort over growth, or how you treat others with a mindset that doesn't resonate with his principles. Little by little, he notices these differences, and in his mind, the gap between you grows. He's not interested in changing you, nor does he want to be changed for you. It's a matter of practicality. If your values no longer align, he'll quietly remove himself from your life, preserving his focus and avoiding distractions. 7. He realized you were living a script, not writing one. Sigma males are fiercely independent, valuing authenticity above all else. They live life on their own terms, constantly questioning norms and shaping their own paths. When they meet someone who seems to be living according to society's scripts, whether in their career, relationships, or personal development, it instantly signals a mismatch. It's not that he'll judge you for following the typical path. He'll quickly realize your life isn't self-directed. He's not drawn to people who are just going through the motions, doing what's expected without thinking. If he senses you're sticking to societal blueprints instead of writing your own story, his interest will fade fast. Sigma males respect people who are writing their own stories, not just living out someone else's expectations. If you're simply conforming to what everyone else expects, don't be surprised when he cuts ties without explanation. For him, life is too short to spend time with someone who isn't fully alive in their own narrative. Number 8. He outpaced you, and you didn't keep up. Sigma males are driven by constant growth. They're always pushing themselves mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. They thrive on challenges and evolution, continuously seeking to improve and refine who they are. While they won't openly compare themselves to others, they are acutely aware of their own progress. If you were part of their journey but started to lag behind, it may not have been obvious at first. He likely kept moving forward, growing and evolving, while you stayed in place, comfortable with where you were. The harsh truth? He noticed the gap long before you did. A Sigma male won't drag anyone along on his journey. If he feels like you're not evolving at the same pace, he won't wait for you to catch up. By the time you realize he's outpaced you, he's already left. It's not about superiority, it's about staying true to his path. He values progress too much to let anyone hold him back. And when you fall behind, he'll leave you behind. 9. He's protecting his peace over pleasing people. Sigma males prioritize mental peace above all else. They don't live for validation or approval from others. While many people remain in relationships out of obligation or to please others, Sigma males won't sacrifice their peace for anyone. If being around you starts to disrupt his mental tranquility, he'll step away without hesitation. It's not about being rude or uncaring, it's about self-preservation. Sigma males can spot drama, manipulation, or emotional turbulence from a mile away. They won't stick around to play games or participate in toxicity. If they sense that someone or something is threatening their inner peace, they'll cut ties and move on. It's not personal, it's survival. 10. You tried to box him in. Sigma males are fiercely independent. They value their freedom above everything else. If you try to control their decisions, limit their autonomy, or force them into roles that don't align with who they are, they'll sense the restriction and quietly exit. For a Sigma male, freedom is paramount. If he feels boxed in or trapped, he'll immediately start withdrawing from the situation. He won't make a scene or demand control. Instead, he'll simply walk away, preserving his freedom and autonomy. Life for him is about self-expression and staying true to his nature. If you try to change him or make him fit your expectations, he won't hesitate to leave. For him, freedom is everything. He won't let anyone take that away. 11. He detected your hidden agenda. Sigma males are masters of reading people. They have an innate ability to sense when someone is hiding something or has an agenda. Whether it's manipulative behavior or deceit, they'll detect it quickly and cut ties immediately. They don't like to play games or deal with hidden motives. To them, authenticity is everything. If they feel you're not being genuine or you have ulterior motives, they'll leave without hesitation. They value transparency and directness. And when they sense dishonesty, they won't waste any time. If you're not real with them, they'll make a swift exit. It's not that they're judgmental, it's just that they can't stand pretense.